Tool Army, good to see you all. So I have a confession to make. I made a big mistake. I've been streaming music for a long time, I guess. OGL, you got your CD there handy? Anima?
As a matter of fact,
if you don't, it's okay.
I do.
There you go. What is track number 1?
Track number 1, hate getting old. The glasses go on, the glasses go off. Track number 1 is, oh my gosh, it is Stinkfist.
Yeah. I remembered it being H. I don't know why.
Yeah, you have track number 3.
Yeah, I did. And I could have swore Eulogy was 8. So I was, it's been a long time. That's the 1900s. I've seen Tool twice in the 1900s, Ozfest and Lollapalooza, 98 and 99. And then I just seen them February 27th. Well, that's actually the New Jersey poster from the 26th, but I got it in Buffalo. The guy gave it to me, actually.
Oh, wow.
So, great show.
How much is that worth now?
It was over $500 last time I checked.
Oh, wow.
That's like that is a heavyweight championship for a Tool fan, and some like Link Johnson, my boy. Link's got like 10 of them.
Oh, wow.
It's like you can pay an MVP price to for sure be able to get a poster or item or memorabilia. So essentially, you're paying money to be able to pay more money for the item. But it's great. It's like a chase, like Supermarket Sweep. You remember that show? That's what Tool fans like, trying to get them damn posters at the concert.
Yeah. No, that's cool though. I like that.
Everybody's pretty it's pretty calm except for that. So we're gonna do Stinkfist, of course. OGL here is a metal guy, predominantly the 80s, so hair metal would be the label, if you want to label it. And he wasn't a big on manner singing, and we have done, or the way he sings, softly and whispered and all that. He's used to like Bruce Dickinson belt for 20 years. It's to each their own, but we have made it to Anima. We've done H, and we are going to do Stinkfist, and we're probably going to shut the fuck up because I don't want to hear us rant. We do that a lot. I could talk a lot. Tool chat rooms. If you don't like Facebook, you don't get on there, hit the chat rooms up, man. Tool family is a great one. Alicia, my girl, she's the troll hunter.
Yeah.
She's hot, but don't tell her in a blue. Don't be that guy.
Don't be a dumb, stupid, belligerent fucker. Is that what you
yeah, there you go. She's got the remedy.
I got you.
All right, so
I want to say real quick. I want to say two things. Okay, first of all, Stinkfist does sound like a collaboration between Fisto and Stinkor from He-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping maybe this would be the first time there's ever been a He-Man Masters of the Universe reference and a Tool reaction. And the other thing has completely slipped my mind right now, so I will. Oh, yes, guys, there is a reaction to Sober in the members area now. Only $5 US. If you want to see me turn the corner on Maynard vocally, it happens there. So
I had a loot poster instead of a Tool poster, so I had to switch. Sorry.
That actually works. But so I think Danny may have played Stinkfist for me once upon a time in our days of sharing music on Discord, but we've gone through a lot of music since then. Obviously, I'm not going to be picking up all the intricacies on one listening to begin with, so I still think this qualifies as a first-time reaction. I thought H was pretty fascinating. I'm very interested to hear where this Anima album is going. I was going to say where it's going, but I guess I want to see where it starts.
All right, so Stinkfist. Something has to change. Undeniable dilemma. Boredom's not a burden anyone should bear. Constant overstimulation numbs me. but I would not want you any other way. Just not enough. I need more. Nothing seems to satisfy. I said, I don't want it. I just need it to breathe, to feel, to know I'm alive. Finger deep within the borderline. Show me that you love me and that we belong together. Relax, turn around, and take my. I don't think he says hand there. It says it here, but I think he does not say hand the first time. Correct me if I'm wrong. Constructive
I will
criticism,
listen to
you,
that.
you know we love it. Um, I will fix the problem with my mighty wrench. So I can help you change tired moments into pleasure. Say the word, and we'll be well upon our way. Blend and balance pain and comfort deep within you till you will not want me any other way. But it's not enough. I need more. Nothing seems to satisfy. I said, I don't want it. I just need it to breathe, to feel, till I'm alive. Knuckle deep inside the borderline. This may hurt a little, but it's something you'll get used to. Relax, slip away. Something kind of sad about the way things have come to be, desensitized to everything, what became subtlety. How can this mean anything to me if I really don't feel anything at all? Yeah, I'll keep digging till I feel something. Elbow deep inside the borderline. Show me that you love me and that we belong together. Shoulder deep within the borderline. Turn around, relax. Relax, turn around, and take my hand.
Might want to wash that hand first, though.
Sounds like a shitty situation, don't
Uh,
it? Ah,
I do appreciate the fact that there's dual meaning here because let's face it, if like I don't know, Great White or Quiet Riot did a song called Stinkfist, I'm pretty sure it would be pretty blunt. So props to Maynard for always keeping us off balance lyrically.
which in turn balances things up.
Agreed.
I can't balance this damn thing, man, in these lines. Freak, you think I'm drunk, man? Right. Let's do this. Stinkfist. Track one.
Alrighty,
Reaction two. My fault.
let's go. Alrighty, so right off the bat, this had to be intentional. The intro, just like the sort of random sounds, that really did kind of sound like porn music. You know, when you think of porn music, you say bow, chicka, bow, bow. It did kind of have that feel to it. I refuse to believe that that wasn't intentional. Um, this song, I think, could have fit fairly comfortably on Undertow. Um, it's it has a sort of like the weird intro, but as soon as that groove kicks in, it's like, yeah, most definitely. This is one of those Maynard vocals that is slipping almost underneath the music. And it sounds like there might be a bit of an effect on it as well. It's a hypnotic effect. It's kind of pulling you in. And of course, you know, just when you're sort of like got your hands pressed on the headphones and you've don't we think about the one of the meanings of the song. It's going to sound funny, but once you've got your yourself sort of buried in there, then all of a sudden, boom, the guitars come back in. You know, his vocal picks up steam. Just want to see. But it is interesting because he's talking about overstimulation. And just from what I'm seeing from the lyrics, I think that might be one of the things that the song is touching on. Just the sort of constant bombardment of, for lack of a better term, superfluous bullshit that we get from the 24-hour news cycle, from social media, from YouTube, just a constant barrage of noise and overstimulation. So putting his vocal underneath the music does sort of almost convey that, because it's like you can almost not hear it because of the rest of the stuff that's going on. I sort of like, there's a saying called musique concrete, which is basically the use of non musical sounds for musical purposes. This obviously isn't exactly that, but I sort of like how they're layering this in a way that sort of reflects one of the themes of the song. I guess in a more architectural way. I brought this up in the H reaction, what the difference between like an architect and a musician, the Pink Floyd dichotomy, to where like the vocal is placed in such a way that you have to really, really listen to get past the band to hear what he's saying. And the song is, again, partially about overstimulation. So I think it works. It's sometimes tricky to hear the lyrics, but that's what that's for. And also, that's what these are for. So let's listen to that again. I'm actually pretty sure I probably missed a bunch of stuff there, but I really want to hear that again. See, it's porn music. Maybe a bit industrialized.
Buffering a little bit there. Station identification here.
Right. So first of all, the song has a wicked groove. Absolutely love the groove. This is a Tool song I can fairly comfortably headbang to. They haven't thrown a whole lot of rhythmic tricks here that'll all of a sudden make me feel like I'm banging to a completely different song.
This one did come
I
on the
think
radio.
okay. There are two things I think that help Maynard's voice. Like it's volume wise, it's sitting right at the point where you can barely hear it. I think two things that kind of help it stand out still is number one, his diction is fantastic. It is right on point. Like he's going through every syllable. And he's also using kind of a nasal sound, which is, again, when someone says someone is singing nasally, it's got bad connotations at times. Basically, I'm just meaning it's, again, Elizabeth, thank you. Got this from you. But it's sort of a sound that's got a bit more focus. So it kind of cuts through. Tool makes a lot of noise, so you got to be able to cut through all of that sound. If he was using like the when the chorus comes in, like he's just going full bore. There's just with sheer volume, he's making himself heard. And I like the contrast. I like the at one point you're barely able to hear him underneath the music, and at the other point you're absolutely, you know, blown away by his volume and power. Um, so do continue though.
Sorry.
So once again, Adam Jones is making all of the sounds. There was one sound that sounded like he took like a siren and threw it into a jet engine. Sounds that remind me of splintering metal. Um, said it before, I'll say it again. Adam is probably my favorite part of the band at this point. I do, I think Tool as a whole, I think one of the things that I love when they do is when we're on Justin right now, bass wise, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so Justin, I think his bass tone may be a little bit cleaner than Paul's, but it's still it's still filthy as hell, which I love. But I like it when Danny and Justin will sort of sync up and like play this strong rhythmic pattern, and then Adam will just go nutty over top of it. Like I always look forward to the moments in Tool songs when that happens. This happened for here. It happened for maybe like 10 seconds. I was like, oh come on, guys! I could have done that for at least another minute or two. But always a pleasure when it pops up. Um, there's a melody in there. Again, I don't think it's a chorus, but picking out a chorus in a Tool song is very frequently not an easy thing to do. But it almost has a sort of a nice, almost commercial jingle sound to it. Again, Maynard is singing in that voice that's sort of buried underneath. So again, you get that feeling like there's all of this input, all of these things coming, and you become almost desensitized to it. Because if you just jam on the groove, I'm pretty sure probably a lot of people did this when they first heard it. If you're just jamming on the groove, it's like, yeah, this is cool, and like you almost will miss the lyrics of the song because they're placed in such a low position. But the minute like your ears perk up, it's like, okay, yeah, there's actually a lot going on there vocally that I was kind of missing. So always appreciate the layers and the contrast that Tool brings to their music.
And a big part of the reason Adam, I give a shout out to him. I'm not reacting, guys. It's just I give a shout out to Adam for all the palm muting. He's such a master. I've always told OGL he's the master of distortion. He may not be the greatest technical guitar player in the world, but he definitely can make a guitar talk. And his palm muting, and this is the next song is where he starts incorporating his left-handed strumming, the Adam Jones technique, if you will.
So actually, I appreciate you bringing that up because yeah, he chuggas like a madman. I'd bring up like his experimental guitar squonking and whatnot, all the weird sounds that he makes. But yeah, he can like he chugs like a locomotive. So yeah, he Adam is an absolute beast. So much shout out, guys. Send more love Adam's way. I feel that he sometimes gets overshadowed by Maynard and Danny, and look, they're amazing as well. But his the amount of sonic coloration he adds to their music, you like if you took that away, it would be a completely different sound. Like this is something you can't just plug shredder A into this thing and you'll get largely the same thing. It wouldn't be like replacing the guitarist in Whitesnake, is what I'm saying. Right, this is a very distinct and um, unique sound that he's been able to generate. And Danny's Master of Distortion line, it's perfect because he's able to shape the sound of the guitar into so many amazing things. So
Well,
basically, what we're both saying is Adam rules.
yeah. And Adam was already a made man and a wonderful artist to begin with, in Universal Studios and with all the high profile movies from Terminator 2 to Jurassic Park to Ghostbusters to Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, he dances with wolves. I mean, multiple. And, he's roommates with Tom Morello. So that didn't hurt
Oh God.
anything.
Oh my God. The jam sessions those two must have.
I mean, I
Wow.
don't think they publicly have ever put anything out together other than when, well, that was his Maynard that sung with Rage. Um, but I know they keep close. Me and you sing Bruce Springsteen with Tom Morello, and
Yeah.
I wish I would have not watched that because we would have reacted to that. But anyway, we'll
Yeah.
get back to it.
Chugging.
Sorry to alarm me. I know it.
That's I'm about to hear something awesome. Tool definitely knows how to close out a song. So the instrumental bit in there was amazing. Just the sheer amount of sounds Adam was able to coax out of his guitar. Um, there's one part of me, perhaps a more conventional side, that says, when Maynard's voice came back in, wouldn't have minded it being a little bit louder. but I know there's also lyrics in here talking about, or at the very least, alluding to how sort of when you have all of these things overstimulating you, it sort of tends to blend together.
One of my
So
favorite
his
Tool
voice is,
lines is something kind of sad about the way things have come to be. To
yeah,
sensitize to everything, what became of
mhm,
subtlety?
yep. So and yeah, there's lots of subtlety there. Like it seems like it blends together, but if you listen, there's it's a very interesting vocal line. It sounds like Maynard's getting really high in this bit before we paused here too. So he's exploring his range. So again, you sort of have to unlearn certain listening tendencies when listening to Tool because they seem to delight in sort of breaking down those boundaries. They're if nothing else, I would definitely say that they're probably some of the most clever songwriters out there. Uh, Maynard's, top level at many things, jujitsu, trolling, and yeah, I do like how they are using essentially this vocal line to sort of weave underneath the music in a lot of ways, as opposed to laying over top of it, which is how it works in most contemporary music. But I definitely have you gone back to before that little instrumental part where Adam was going nutty with the sounds? Because I would love to hear that again.
I did, sir. Don't forget
Thank you.
author and winemaker.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Just
If
kidding,
I went
man.
on to
Just
list
kidding.
all the things, if I went on to list all the things Maynard was good at, this reaction would be like 50 minutes long. So
I had to,
he
man. There's some people saying,
yeah.
man, you should have done it. Or some people laughing. It's okay.
But it's even Adam Jones and his special effects wizardry. Like Tool is again, I mentioned this in the previous reaction. Tool's a super group. They're all elite level in what they do. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to pause again, but they were like vocals placed so far back there. I almost wondered if I heard them, like there were ghost vocals there.
They are.
And I think like that's one of those things where like you've got $100 pair of headphones and you listen to a song like this, and I'm like, shit, am I got to buy a $300 pair just to hear that properly? Again, though, major props to Tool for embracing the production side of this, and for just that just shows you how much care they put into their music when they're putting stuff in there that a lot of people are gonna miss. Like a casual listener is just gonna be like, they thought they might have heard something, maybe it wasn't, but yeah, there's definitely something placed there, and everything Tool does has purpose. So that's a very low key ending for a Tool song. There was a bit towards the end there. It was, I don't remember the lyric it was on, but it had that rhythmic punchiness, and it also kind of had like the yelling through clenched teeth delivery from Maynard. That
Sorry.
also sounded like it could have come off Undertow. So I do sort of like how the opening riff of this song and some vocal bits at towards the end very much are calling back to Undertow. I was gonna say whether it's intentional or not, but it's Tool, so most likely it was. But there's a lot of very interesting experimental stuff in the song. Like it goes in a lot of different directions. But I think the vocal melodies, even though they were submerged, like your mind would recognize them. Like believe it or not, the second time I listened to the bit where I said I wish his voice was a little bit higher, second time I listened to him, I heard it a little bit better. So Tool rewards repeat listening as much as any band that I've heard. And the point that I was laboriously crawling towards here is basically this song goes in a lot of different directions, but at no point in time does it ever sound sloppy or slapdash. It always sounds purposeful. It always sounds like it's going where it wants to go. And even that low key ending, like it was the perfect end for all of the, I guess, carefully constructed chaos that we listened to. And that over top that chaos was, or I'm sorry, underneath that chaos was kind of this winding vocal melody that was basically talking about overstimulation, being desensitized, a bemoaning the lack of subtlety. It's it is interesting. You almost have to develop a second set of listening muscles to appreciate Tool properly. Uh,
Well, I've heard a lot of reactors get this song right, and about all the influx of information and everything's at the tip of your fingers now, and social media and all that. But the one thing most of these reactors don't ever see till the comments, and I think that's what makes our reactions a little unique here, is the fact that now think about this was 1996.
mm-hmm.
There was no social media.
Yeah,
There was barely
yeah,
cell phones. That was right after the beepers.
mm-hmm.
Now, how brilliant is the song?
Very true. Yeah,
Because everybody
very.
talks about it like it was written for social media.
That is, shit, I didn't even think about that.
This is
Yeah, wow,
1996, brother.
wow, yeah. Because the internet,
I
like
saved that for the
the
end.
internet, no, the internet may have been around, but it certainly
Barely.
wasn't what it is now. Like,
Hell
yeah,
no.
that was like if you weren't like super
There were no
tech savvy, you
browsers.
didn't know.
There were no.
Yeah,
You know,
that was something like for the elite of the elite tech nerds there that might have been able to get on. But yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I mean, obviously, television would be the notable target.
Yeah. I mean,
But other than
people
that, yeah,
just.
like it most definitely sounds like it was written for modern times. Son of a bitch.
I've been I've been waiting on that for a while, man. I've been wanting to tell you something, but
Son of a bitch.
yeah,
I said this in the sober reaction, and obviously would like y'all to check it out. Only $5. Nah, but
send more money.
Maynard is what Maynard is one of the few people out there that can make me feel stupid, which is what has just happened. That is actually mind-boggling because it honestly, again, I grew up in the I was 22 in '96, and the song honestly is much more, um,
Prominent now.
yeah, like it definitely it's yeah its meaning is much more pronounced now than it would have been back then. So, damn.
Everybody just thought it was about shoving a fist up your ass in. It may
And
be.
yeah, again, I think that's the beauty of Tool is that they combine this very high level intellectual bent with just some dick jokes and poop jokes and juvenile humor
I've heard a
that
few of
you
them.
don't. Yeah, but yeah, it's there aren't. And again, I do think that's what separates them from a lot of the the frilly shirt wearing prog bands out there that can rattle off 400 different scales within 2 seconds. But
You know how when I did the Hank
don't.
Williams Jr. reaction, I went ahead and told, hey, you yuppies that like the new country that think Conway Twitty's a damn rapist or something. Or, sorry, I ain't supposed to say that word on YouTube, but y'all need not to watch this. That's kind of what they do with their music, in my opinion. He's even referenced it in interviews that our music is deep, and it takes a little thought and it takes a little work on the listener's part to, like you said, kind of get out of the norm of the way music is typically written. And Tool is not a band you tap your foot to. I mean, it, when I'm in that kind of mood, I don't listen to Tool. I mean, and but I don't just listen to them when I need like introspect either. Retrospect, reflection. It's funny, man. I live Tool and I love music. I'll say it till I'm not here.
Well, Tool may not be a tap your foot band, but I do throw some wicked grooves your way.
This
It's just whenever the minute you start headbanging, they'll change it up just a little bit, and you'll look silly because you're banging off beat. So thanks, Danny, but not you, Danny Carey. But I also liked how there were bits where like I remember one bit that was it was heavier, and like Danny was doing some really cool fills, and then they like dropped that out completely, and he was doing like the bongo stuff. So I mean the get that sort of dynamic, even uh, the soft, loud dynamics, even in your percussion, that is saying something. So,
Look, guys, I don't understand this. I could have swore we was about 20 minutes, man. I told myself we're gonna make a faster reaction so the Tool Army don't, get impatient with us. And 37 damn minutes, it just ain't possible, God. I can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. I can't make it shorter than that. But
I'm going to be perfectly honest with y'all. I didn't feel I was particularly on my game in this reaction. Uh, Felt I stumbled over my words a bit. I was actually considering asking Danny for a redo, but
nah,
no, I'm definitely because there's no way we're going to be able to match the moment where I found out that yeah, the song was not written in a time of social media. Yeah, if you can like maybe superimpose a dunce cap on my head or something, yeah, that's
actually, I'm not going to speak for the Tool Army, but I would venture to say that most of the people that are listening now to this would rather you be honest than to do another one to make it more perfect.
fair enough. Fair enough. The song is fascinating. Like I said, it's the again the placement of the vocal where it's just sort of on the cusp of being underneath the music, but not quite. You can hear it, but not quite. Like again, how that ties into the theme of overstimulation, maybe everything blurring together. I love that idea. I hope I got that across. Adam Jones always kills it. Um, and again, I love the. It's it's hard to deliver like a very quiet vocal like that with such confidence. And Maynard definitely pulled it off. And like I said, there was the old the undertow Maynard did return. There's some very cool shouty bits. None of the big sustained roars that we normally get from him, but he doesn't have to do that. He was making his point much more quietly this time. And of course, Denny's a beast. Justin had some really good bass work in here. I do like every now and then that Tool will just drop everything out and let that bass sort of do its thing. I think you mentioned this before. You don't get that a lot in mainstream rock or metal music. Just that space for the bass space, I guess. Space for the bass. Something like that. Either way. Tool is groovy as fuck, is what I'm trying to say. And
And
I
mental
enjoyed
health
this
is
song.
real, and I suffer from it. And OGL probably is now that I'm cut him off. Probably thinks I'm rushing him.
No. I'm gonna suffer from it for feeling stupid.
Nah,
For
man,
not
it's
realizing the song was
okay.
written like 2 decades before.
No one does. No, I haven't seen a reactor that has yet.
uh,
Because if you don't know, you
Goddamn.
don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, mental health is real. We advocate here, and I kept my OGT name. Respect that because I come out old guy twerking, one great time. Had a lot of different little anagrams or whatever the hell you call that. So shit. I was blinding myself. I was playing with Boaster while he was listening. So yeah, I ain't got no teeth, y'all. Knocked him out. Correct. But we are eternal. All this pain is illusion. I'm gonna quit showing y'all my tattoos. All right, we're going. Eulogies next, which is well, every Tool song's playing is my favorite, but I think I would pick Eulogy if I had to. Uh, can't wait to see OGL.
Ain't gonna be doing that one without you, sir.
All right, we're gonna go.
But no, this was fun. Sorry we're so chatty, guys, but with Tool, there's a lot to talk about.
OGL, OGT, howdy.